Great Transition Senior Living Seminar Series. Today we are tackling the topic not about speed dating in general, but about getting information from our local senior communities. We're really excited to jump into that. Great Transitions has been around for a while, since 2013, and it's a system for working with seniors and their families as their lifestyle and housing needs change over time. I had a good visit with somebody that's been in their home for over 40 years this morning, and we were talking about how being a longtime homeowner can maybe give you some things that you got to do every once in a while. So you are all here in the room and watching online because you may be preparing to make a move, or you may be thinking about the possibility of making a move. We know that it's typically about 12 to 18 months to make a move happen. Sometimes it's longer than that. My own parents, their experience was a little bit longer than that. Sometimes an event can happen, and that can spark a change much quicker. Whatever your circumstance, we're here to guide you through the entire process. We genuinely believe that helping and guiding seniors is our greatest honor, and it's an honor and a privilege to help and care for those who have done so much in our community over the years. That's pretty much the Great Transitions way. Our objective here today is to educate people, to provide this education on topics like legal, financial, medical, housing, and other general issues that are important to seniors, while providing a place where you can connect and build community. We're not here to try and sell you anything. The educational partners that work with us on providing this seminar series, they're not here to sell you anything either. We're here because we have a heart to serve and to provide information for you. But we do ask you to think about a few things, and maybe you'll jot some notes down as we're going through our presentation today. Maybe something will just stick in your file cabinet. But we want you to think about who's going to be tasked with making decisions for you when you are no longer able to make your own decisions. Will you agree with the decisions that they make for you? And if you are in the process of creating your plan, which we hope that you genuinely are, have you shared that information with your advisors, your trusted loved ones, those in your immediate circle? So that's your homework as we get ready to launch into our topic of learning more about senior communities. We are really blessed in the greater Orlando area to have a phenomenal amount of senior living community options. And I think we at Great Transitions are partnered with the 5 best communities in our immediate area. It's great to have all these choices, and it can also be kind of overwhelming that there are so many choices. A lot of people say to us as we've been doing our spring community tours, we hear a lot of information. I had somebody that came on the tour last Friday, and he said, you know, I'm really like 10 years away from making a move, still pretty active, but I want to gather some information. And I thought, I like that. They're getting some information on what's available and out there. A lot of people are asking, how do I know that this is the right community for me? Where do I start? What do I need to be looking at? Like, there's the financial component, but then there's the social component, and then there's the community component, and all of these different things. What's the difference between community A and community B? So today we're going to talk with our partner communities, hopefully get you some answers, at the very least help you refine your questions. So you'll want to get your seminar note page out so you can jot some things down. We'll do a Q&A at the end. And we're going to have a little bit of fun while we go through this. That's why we titled it Speed Dating. We thought that might be kind of fun. So, and the really cool thing about this is, you know, when you speed date, you have to pick a date with one person. You can pick all 5 if you want when we're done with this, because you can get some information on them. So we kind of are going to start in a random, what may seem like a random order, but we actually drew cards to decide who was going to go first. So it was kind of fun that way. Brittany Fielden with Allegro. She was our high card. So she gets to go first. They don't even know what order they're going in. I like keeping you guys guessing. Come take a seat. The hot seat.
Does anyone want to know what card won me this spot? A 9 of hearts. Can you believe that?
9 was
No one drew a card higher than that?
Nope. I was surprised too. I thought we would get like a couple of face cards in there, but we did not. All right, so we're gonna ask each one of our communities some senior living general questions and also some questions specific to their community. So hopefully this will give you a good overview of the industry and the community. So macro and micro, if you will. Brittany, you're at Allegro. We have 2 basic types of communities represented here. We have rental communities and what's called a CCRC, a continuing care retirement community. What are the differences in those 2 communities?
That is a really common question for CCRCs and for the monthly communities, as you would call it. So a rental community, Allegro Winter Park is a rental community. We have independent living, assisted living, and memory care. But what that means is you pay a smaller community fee up front. At Allegro, it's $3,500. That community fee is best described, I've found, as like a one-time HOA fee, right? You move into the fancy neighborhood with the nice amenities, you're gonna pay an HOA fee, right? Probably yearly, maybe monthly, quarterly. In senior living, that is just one time taken up front. Upon signing a residency agreement, it's non-refundable, and then thereafter, your monthly cost is pretty much your rent and any supportive services you need or opt for. And then to get out of your agreement, you give a 45-day notice for independent living and a 30-day notice for assisted living memory care. You do not get the community fee back, but at any given time, you are only obligated to the next 30 days pretty much at any given time. In a CCRC or life plan community, as they're called now, you have an upfront buy-in. That buy-in is a much larger number. Some communities, it's in the tens of thousands. Most of the communities in the area, it's in the hundreds of thousands. And so you give that money up front, and then to get out of your agreement, it depends on where you're at in the amortization of your contract, and you get a portion of that back if you were to break lease, essentially, with notice. A lot of the communities have very similar amenities, very similar services. It's just the contract type, essentially.
Okay, great. That's super helpful to know that I can access activities, transportation, medical assistance if I need it. In most of these communities, it's just the financial side that might differ. Okay, very good. All right, so let's go to Allegro specific questions, or a question. We have heard that when a new resident comes to Allegro, you guys literally roll out the red carpet? Is that true?
Yes.
Tell us about that. What goes on when somebody moves in?
So move-in day is it's an exciting time. It can be also overwhelming. So move-in day, sometimes it happens on move-in day, actually most of the time, and sometimes we plan for after move-in day. We do roll out the red carpet. There is champagne or your drink of choice, of course. We invite your family. We invite resident ambassadors. All of the directors of the community are there. There is a red carpet, a toast, pictures. It's super fun right in our lobby. So kind of block party style, right? And then we go up to your apartment. There's a red ribbon tied in a really pretty bow around your apartment door, and that is there when you move in. And we've got these giant scissors, and just like opening a new business with even the Winter Park Chamber, you do a ribbon cutting, but for your own apartment. So we do a ribbon cutting, and then we do a really nice welcome basket that's personalized as well to the new resident, just to, it makes them feel special, and it makes us feel special too. So then beyond that, we do a really nice Know Your Neighbor happy hour. And so that is an opportunity where it's happy hour. It's a normal happy hour because we have those 5 days a week at Allegro too. But it's specific to new residents. All the directors come, ambassadors, select ambassadors for the community come as well. And that is another opportunity to get to know the ambassadors, get to know the directors at the community, ask other questions that may have come up. And so that happens once a month as well to welcome new residents.
Awesome. And I think because it can be daunting to make a move when you haven't made a move in 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So I think that's great. Speaking of time, senior living has changed a lot. I know when I first started working with seniors and I went on my first community tour, I was just blown away at what was available. How has senior living changed in the past 25 years from what we might know of as a nursing home kind of setup?
It's changed a lot. This is one of my favorite topics to educate people on as they come and visit communities. And it's something that's still brought up, surprisingly. I mean, a lot of these communities have been around for years and years, even now. Allegro is 7 years old. Already. So I can't believe it. So over the last several decades, though, when I have seniors come and see me that are in their 80s, in their 90s, sometimes even younger, they're describing these experiences of visiting their own mother in a nursing home, right? And they're going, I want a private room. I don't want to be in the room with somebody else. And there's someone yelling down the hallway, right? And so I said, you're thinking of a nursing home. You're thinking of a skilled nursing facility, right? And those communities still exist, but for different purposes now. Now we've got assisted living communities, and that there's a huge hospitality element that has been brought to the industry. You have a lot more autonomy over how your day is spent. There are program directors. You have all-day dining. You order from menus. You get your choice of food that day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A lot of these communities have full liquor licenses now, so they're serving full bars at happy hour. You can choose to go down or not. And so the hospitality element and the autonomy over how your day is spent, and all those on-site services, the room service, the medical services coming right to your door, that concierge type living environment, almost like a Four Seasons hotel, but a little bit different, right? So that is probably the biggest difference between what is happening now in senior living and what wasn't happening 25, 30 years ago.
Those of you that have been on some of the tours recently, were you surprised at all to see what's available in these senior living communities? Anybody? Yeah, pleasantly surprised. Like, I'm ready to go. It's pretty nice. Housekeeping and all those meals.
We even have a hot tub. I was shocked. I didn't know we had a hot tub at Allegro.
Okay. So you referenced happy hour earlier and said that's super popular. I think most of the communities will echo that. What are some of the other popular events that are offered at Allegro?
We celebrate everything. St. Patty's Day, Mardi Gras, any kind of day is celebrated, right? So we have a lot of big events that are going to be really popular and well attended monthly. We also do something called Allegro at Sea, and we always travel to a different country. This happens typically quarterly, but in April we're going to Japan. It's a whole day full of food and programming and themes for that particular country. So for instance, Japan, we have hibachi that night for dinner. We have someone coming to teach the residents how to do origami. So yeah, those vendors were really hard to find, by the way. Our lifestyles director, bless him. So we do Allegro at Sea once a quarter, which is really, really great. On a daily basis, exercise is really well attended. Our residents love to stay active. We have volleyball. Residents do love to stay. It's with a beach ball, guys. Just with a beach ball. But they do love that game. LCR, I have a lot of card players. We have a lot of resident-led stuff too.
What is LCR?
Left, right, center.
Oh.
The dice game with quarters. You pass the quarters.
Yeah,
Super fun. It's a fun game. So that's it's a dice game. Rummy Cube, dominoes, lots of card players. And then happy hour, of course, is well attended too. At Allegro, 3 days a week, they have live entertainment. So typically those happy hours are really well attended. There's typically a musical instrument player or a vocalist, and the residents typically enjoy that. And then on Tuesday nights, we have something called Backyard Band, and the residents go and sit around our fire pit, and they all bring their own instruments, those that know how to play them. So they all go out there with their own instruments and play around the fire pit after dinner on Tuesday nights. And that's resident-led. That's not even something that our program director puts on. So that's super fun.
I'm glad that they're empowered to do that, and it sounds like a lot of fun. Awesome. Well, cast your votes. Thank you, Brittany. We appreciate the information. Awesome. All right. No, while you are evaluating what you just heard, I'm going to ask Gladys Powers from the Mayflower to come on up. Our next contestant. Well, thanks for coming, Gladys.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Brittany, I might be joining you guys for the beach volleyball over there.
Oh, yeah,
That's my favorite sport.
you played in college, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go easy on them.
I know.
Spikes. Okay. We talked with Brittany a little bit about the difference between rental communities and continuing care retirement communities, CCRCs. Let's expand on that a little bit and talk about this continuum of care that's offered in a CCRC like Mayflower.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of you have a good understanding that CCRC stands for Continuing Care Retirement Community. As the industry has evolved, we've kind of changed that name to a life plan community. So you might be hearing that term as well. These type of communities like the Mayflower offer different services, different levels of services, and it starts off with independent living where you need very minimal assistance to no assistance at all, and you can go through the different levels of care, receiving more intensive care such as assisted living, memory care, or even skilled nursing.
Are you guaranteed to have a spot available if you need those higher levels of care?
Yes, so much like these different communities such as Allegro, where you pay a monthly, a community fee, and then you go month to month, a life plan community, you pay an entrance fee where that guarantees you access through those different levels of care. So you start in independent living, you live as you do at home, with very minimal assistance, but with a lot of different programming and support involved. And then as you age and you need more services, that's provided to you when you need them.
Okay, awesome. Let's take a deep dive into the Mayflower. I happen to know that the wood-fired pizzas in crew quarters are amazing, firsthand experience, and anybody can go have dinner at crew quarters, correct? They take reservations?
So to clarify,
Okay.
we actually, the Crew Quarters restaurant is our newest restaurant. We have 3 restaurants on campus. And at the very beginning, we wanted to create exposure to the community. We wanted to invite the outside community into our world. So people had a better understanding that, this isn't the nursing home. That everybody has talked about for years. So we wanted to expose crew quarters to the community but it got so popular
Aha.
that the residents said, you know, we want this to be a little bit more exclusive. So you are allowed to come, but it's invite only, unfortunately.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we know somebody if you want one of those pizzas, how we can get that. What other dining options are available besides crew quarters at Mayflower? And talk to us about how the dining system works there.
So I'm actually very lucky and privileged to have been a part of the Mayflower for the past, I'm going on 6 years. And as you guys may know, that the industry has flourished in so many different ways. So adding crew quarters has been an excellent addition to the community, but we also have 2 other restaurants on campus. We have the Winslow, which is an elevated dining experience that offers traditional dishes. And we also have crew quarters, as we mentioned, who serves the wonderful pizzas, wood-fired pizzas. And it has more of a eclectic dining dishes, more restaurant style. We also have the grill room, which is a little bit of both. It's a pub style, but also serves elevated finger foods, mocktails, cocktails. So we kind of look at dining as a more curated experience for our residents. We were recently awarded in 2024 the most innovative dining. So it's by Leading Age, so it's a really special thing
That's
to be able
awesome.
to
Congratulations.
be recognized. Yes. As far as points go, I know a lot of people discuss the points. We offer a meal plan that is designed for flexibility. So our meal plan is designed for people to be able to have one meal a day, but they're not limited. So the amount of points that we offer is 540 points per month. You can use them from day to day, but they don't roll over. And that's designed for residents to either decide to bring friends or family members and utilize those points, or if they choose to cook in their residence or dine on Park Avenue, they can do that as well. So it's designed to be flexible.
Love that. A lot of people are like, well, I still cook, but they don't do it as often as they used to maybe, and so that gives them the opportunity to do both.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I did want to mention that if you did want to come
Yeah,
dine with us, I did bring some dining vouchers. If you want to join us, you can meet me at the end of this and I can share one with
we
you.
might be talking, Gladys, we might be talking. So as we've been going through our community tours and in general, we hear at a lot of communities about a wait list. What is the wait list? What does it guarantee you? Is it refundable? Kind of give us an overview of what a wait list might look like in a senior community.
Sure. Those of you who know me and maybe we've met once or twice and got together, I always say that it's important to explore your different options. Of course, I think the Mayflower is the best, but I do think that you should understand the different contracts and see what's out there. There's a lot of other lovely options that we have in this area. We all have wait lists, and specifically at the Mayflower, our wait list is called the Captain's Club. And we designed this wait list for people to get in the queue and to start planning, because we all know that this is a planning process. It takes time to figure out exactly what your needs are and what you want your needs to look like in the future and things like that. So our wait list that we call the Captain's Club has 2 tiers to it. Both options are fully refundable. Our lowest tier is called the insignia level, which is a $2,000 deposit. That gets you in the queue. And we also have the medallion level, which is our 10% deposit of the floor plan that you're interested in. Both, like I said, are fully refundable. And this gives you an option to start to plan for your move. You might say, you know, Gladys, I'm interested in moving into the Mayflower. I'm looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom floor plan. And my time frame is anywhere between 2 to 3 years. So some people will even ask or even tell me, you know, I like the traditional floor plan, or I like the custom floor plan, or I like the deluxe floor plan. Could you please give me a call when those become available within my time frame? Of course, people's plans change. Sometimes people decide to stay home. Sometimes people decide to move in with their kids. I don't know if anybody likes to do that. Or sometimes you decide, you know, I think I'd rather go with a different option because things change as time goes on. So you can, you know, say, I no longer want to be a part of the wait list, or if you do decide to move in, then that deposit goes towards your entrance fee.
If I'm on the wait list, does that give me access to visit the community a little more often?
I also think that's a great question, because I think that's a major perk of joining the wait list. You can have access to the community, whether you're on the $2,000 wait list or if you're on the 10% wait list. You can join activities, the different types of programming. You can try our food. You can even, some of our residents will sign up and go to the Winter Park Playhouse or the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center.
With the group from?
With the group. So
Okay.
you sign up, and you know how terrible parking is in Winter Park, and you can park your car at our campus and hop on our bus and get dropped off and get picked up.
Love that. So you can kind of experience what the community is like without.
Right. It's like trying it before you buy it.
Kind of like going on a date.
Yeah. Or a date, or test driving a car. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Dates are very important.
You see what we're doing here. So I know that the Mayflower has hosted several classes recently for the Winter Park Lifelong Learning Foundation. Thank you, Dana Richmond, for getting that going. What other types of learning opportunities are available to residents at the Mayflower?
Dana, thank you so much for starting that program. If you guys haven't looked into that, the website is winterparklifelonglearningfoundation.org.
Just winterparklifelong.org.
Oh, winterparklifelong.org. Yes. They have so many wonderful classes. I mean, I was looking at the list of classes the other day because the residents raved so much about it. They have introduction to Arabic, life plan, or long-term care planning. They also have
I heard there was one on Winter Park history.
Winter Park
really
history.
Good. Yeah.
So if you haven't checked that out, please do. We actually are one of the host sites there, so the residents have been taking full advantage of that. But along with that, we also have a list of other types of programming. We have different dynamic speakers that come. We have a men's breakfast. We have a women's breakfast. We actually, the Dr. John Sinclair from the Bach Society, he has come and spoken to us. We are planning to have Catherine Ramsberger, the CEO of Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center, come and speak. We have various nutrition classes. We have cooking courses. We have different people who are into the arts. We have acrylic classes, watercolor classes, collage classes. There are a lot of things that are very stimulating to our residents, and continue that lifelong learning process, even if you're not a part of the Winter Park Lifelong Learning Foundation or taking courses with them. So there's always something for everyone.
Love that. Well, thank you very much, Gladys.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right. Are you learning anything?
Yes.
Taking copious notes? Okay. Next, we are going to call up Tracy Woodall with Watercrest Winter Park. We actually had 2 people that drew a 7, but so then we went in alphabetical order. So Tracy is next. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Hello.
So let's talk about, Watercress Winter Park offers assisted living and memory care. There is no independent living there.
Right.
And how does an assisted living community foster a sense of community among its residents? Because some of us may have they're assisted, they need assistance so they can't be in community. Is that the case?
No, well, so we are an assisted living and memory care, but basically what that really means is the community falls under an assisted living license. But we do have a lot of independent residents that live there that opt, out of having actual care provided for them. So then when you come into the community, you can come in independently and you don't really require care at all, but you're getting things like a pendant, which you can push if you ever had trouble anywhere in the community. You would push the button and a caregiver would come and find you. And then it's where, as you age, we call it aging in place. Then you can add care as you get older and if you need it. So if you are in our community independently and you don't really need any care, and then say, God forbid, you have you fall, and then you need help getting in the shower or things like that, you can add that, and then if it comes to where you don't need it anymore, then you can take that away. So that's the beauty of that.
And how are you all facilitating getting to know the residents, getting to know one another, and really creating? We know that one of the keys to successful aging is that sense of community.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that when I go into Watercress. Tell me about how you achieve that.
So we have, it's called a personal silhouette that we have you fill out when you come into the community. And it talks about everything about you, where you're from, what you did for a living, what, your likes, your dislikes, all of that. And it's pretty extensive. And then that goes to our life enrichment director. And then we have ambassadors in the community. And our life enrichment director will pair the residents up with somebody that they might have similar interests. Maybe they're bridge players, maybe whatever the case may be, they're from the same city in New York or things like that. And then that cultivates, getting friendships started, having them have a meal together, things like that. So we really want to get to know each resident when they come in, and then that's how we kind of build the community.
That's awesome. How many apartments do you have?
We have 72.
Okay, so it's not a huge community.
No, it's more like a boutique style community. It's 5 years old.
Okay.
And it's
Are the rumors true? Does Watercress have its own wine label?
And yes, we do.
Happy hour is very important.
Yes, we do have happy hour every day. But yes, the CFO, she is a wine connoisseur, if you will, and they bought like a plot of land in Virginia where they have, it's like a vineyard, and yeah, they make their own
So
wine.
it's not just
It's not just the
it's-
label, it's the actual the wine,
Oh, and
the
the
grapes
vines.
and the vines, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually
that's impressive. No
Yeah.
no samples today.
no.
Okay, all right. We know where we can get a sample.
Yes.
In an assisted living community, what role does a family play? In other words, their loved one may be living in the community, but they still have a role to play.
So we welcome all families to come and participate in all of our events, come to have meals with their loved ones. They're welcome to come at 24/7. It's their apartment. They can come stay for the night. But yeah, so we really encourage families, grandchildren, come use the pool, come to our parties. So it's a big,
Did I see a kid's playroom?
yes,
There's a kid's playroom.
there is a kids, yeah.
At Watercrest.
Yes, it's, so yeah, bring the grandkids. Our residents would love to babysit. No, I'm just kidding.
You do have to supervise your kids, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
And can those family, I know you guys do a brunch. What about like the pool? Can we just come hang out at the pool?
Yep.
If our loved one is there?
Yes, yes, you can. You can come use the pool, use any of the amenities. We have a massage room. We have a massage therapist that comes on, the salon. So families are welcome to
That's great.
use all of our amenities.
That's great.
And we do have a brunch. We have a Sunday, once a month, we have a really great Sunday brunch. And we encourage family members to come to that as well.
Love that, love that. We were looking over the events, getting ready for this, and you guys had a speakeasy casino night. How often do you do big events like that? I know Allegra talked about doing quarterly kind of events. What about you guys? And is there an extra charge?
So we do a big event once a month. The casino night was a lot of fun. All the directors, all the staff, everybody gets into it. And for that, the casino night, it was a 20s theme, and everyone, got dressed up. And this one coming up in the next week or so is a sock hop. So I'm gonna be the
Sandy.
one of the pink ladies.
Okay.
But everybody gets really into it, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super. Well, thank you, Tracy, for giving us a glimpse into Westminster, Watercrest Winter Park.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. And speaking of Westminster, I think Alex might have stepped out. Ah, there he is. Hey! Oh, he just wanted to make an entrance. Come on down. This is Alex Quinones. He's with Westminster Winter Park. We're really glad to have you here. Let's talk about the application process when we're going to a community. Let's say there's a couple, maybe spouses require different levels of care. So what is this general screening process in a community? How are different levels of care handled? And then maybe we'll talk a little bit about entrance fees and things like that.
Okay. So we have 2 applications for our screening in order to move into our community. So we have the financial screening, and it's an application that you'll fill out, which will include your assets, your annual income, and then what I do with that data is I plug it into my Excel workbook. So it'll give me a spend down on how long you have until you were to run out of money. And that's also how we do the financial approval. I have to send that financial workbook to our CFO, and then he wants to make sure that you're financially qualified. What we really look for is you must have at least 2 times in assets what our entrance fee is. So if the entrance fee is $140,000, then we want to see that you have at least $240,000 in assets in order to qualify. And then there's the health screening, which is done by our nurse. So we have a nurse for our independent living community, as well as a nurse for our assisted living community. And if they're on the fence, say it's a couple that is unsure if they're not sure if they're ready for assisted living yet, and maybe one's more independent than the other. Say mom just needs more assistance with managing her medications. We encourage families to stay together, couples to stay together for as long as possible. So we will explore all options since we offer all levels of care. So we have couples who are in assisted living who maybe one is more independent than the other, and they can live pretty good in assisted living.
So it sounds like there's a little bit of flexibility at your community, and I think that's probably true for most communities. Would you agree?
Yes, I actually just helped someone. It was a couple, and mom needed to move into independent living, but dad needed skilled nursing. So fortunately, we offer long-term skilled nursing, and I was able to help them both move in because we offer all levels of care.
That's great, that's great. I was over at Westminster not too long ago, and there are some beautiful lakefront views there. You guys are on the lake. Can people bring their kayaks when they come and move in at Westminster?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. We are known for our lake views. So Westminster Winter Park, we span across 55 acres between us and Baldwin Park. And in Baldwin Park, we sit right in front of Lake Baldwin.
Okay.
And then in the Winter Park Tower, we sit right on Lake Berry, which offers gorgeous views of the lake in Winter Park. And we have docks, pontoon boats, kayaks, paddle boards. So our residents are able to store their paddle boards or kayaks, small canoes by the docks, by the lake. And then on top of that, we also do lakeside luncheons. We do a lot of fishing trips on the pontoon boat. We do scenic boat rides whenever the weather is nice. So we encourage families to take advantage of the lake as much as possible because that's what it's there
Have
for.
you ever caught a fish in Lake Berry?
Not yet, no. I plan on it though.
All right. One of the terms we hear a lot when we talk about senior living is a life care contract, life plan contract. Can you give us a general overview of what that means?
Yeah, so the life plan contract, it gives you predictability. So say that your care needs change after 6-7 years of living in independent living or assisted living. You wouldn't have to worry about ever finding another place to go because you paid the entrance fee and you purchased a life plan. So you'll have priority access to the highest level of care for whenever you need it. And then you'll also have peace of mind knowing that if you were to exhaust all funds and your assets were to run out, then you wouldn't have to find another place to go because you purchased the life plan.
Gotcha. Awesome. So essentially gives you a lot of security in that
Exactly.
purchase. Okay.
I always like to say it's kind of like a long-term care policy in a way. So if you didn't purchase that long-term care policy 15, 20 years ago when they were handing them out like hotcakes, you can't get those nowadays. It's always good to look into a life plan community because you get that safety and insurance there, yeah.
Great. Inquiring minds want to know, what are the Westminster Games?
Yeah, we have Westminster communities. We're all over the state of Florida. So we have a total of 7,000 residents, and we're very competitive. And we have our annual Winter Park Games every year, every February. We just had ours at Eckerd College, and Westminster Winter Park was actually the winner.
Oh, really? Congratulations.
So we do cornhole. We do the horseshoe rings. We do trivia. We have food and music. Families are more than welcome to attend. So it's just something that all the Westminster residents get together once a year for and get to have fun.
And did you provide transportation over?
We do.
Okay, very cool. That's awesome. So a little school spirit, if you will.
Exactly.
Awesome. Alex, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about Westminster.
Thank you.
Let's give Alex a hand. All right, our last contestant today on our speed dating game is Stephanie Turner with Village on the Green. We actually kind of did go in alphabetical order. The draw of the cards was kind of that way. Interesting. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah, have that. Okay, so a lot of the decisions a lot of the decision in senior living is financial, right? And a lot of people struggle with this upfront investment, the entrance fee that comes with a life plan community or a continuing care community. What do you call it at Village on the Green? And why do communities charge this and require the investment up front?
So I'm glad that you referred to it as an investment, because it really is. So it is an entrance fee, and I'm the first person to say that entrance fees are scary. It's a lot of money. We don't negate that. But what you're really valuing with that entrance fee is capital improvement projects. So we are more ready to do things like new windows and doors and landscaping and higher expectations of services and amenities. We actually operate on the interest of those entrance fees, and we're a not-for-profit. Some people think, you're asking me for a couple $100,000 and you're calling yourself a not-for-profit? So understanding what that really means is important, and it takes time. So what you're really doing is you're investing in your future. You have a maintenance-free lifestyle, and you have priority access to higher levels of living at a discounted rate. So Alex had mentioned earlier about long-term care policies. A lot of people don't have those anymore. But even if you do, that marries so well with a life plan, a life care contract, so that you're keeping your costs down in those higher levels of living. If you have a long-term care policy, it's reimbursing you for that discounted rate in our 5-star nursing home. And then you're paying next to nothing for health care. And I wanted to mention one more thing. Our contract mentions, we were talking about, you were asking earlier about priority access, and are you guaranteed a space? Mm-hmm. So if you're buying into a community, you want to know that your needs are going to be met at that community with the team that you're really investing in. But what if we don't have a room? Our contract guarantees that if you have to go somewhere else for any length of time, that you're still going to be guaranteed that discounted life care rate. And we're going to pay the difference if you have to be somewhere else for any length of time, which incentivizes us to get you back to Village on the Green as soon as possible. So it's a beautiful plan.
Awesome. So I'm hoping that you can confirm this, because I've heard that pickleball courts are coming to Village on the Green. Do residents have a voice when it comes to those community updates and renovations?
It's not just pickleball courts.
Uh-oh.
So
Wait, there's more.
I mentioned earlier we have 80 acres. So we have lots of room to play with right now. And what we've decided to do, and we have the renderings for it, and it's in our budget this year, we're doing a driving range, putting green, and the pickleball courts as well. And a couple other things are going along with that project. We're doing a dog park, and we have a butterfly garden that we're relocating, I think, beautifully at the front of the community. But when we started this process, the residents were like, hang on. Pickleball is loud, and it's next to my window. So let's discuss this. I picked this apartment based on a specific view, a location in the community. So where we originally had the pickleball court planned, we've actually moved it to the other side of the driving range, just for the convenience of the residents. It is loud. They make soft courts and soft paddles and all of that, but still, we did hear them, and we did move the pickleball court to a different location. So that's the beautiful thing about an entrance fee-based community, is you still have a voice, you've invested, and we pride ourselves on that.
Awesome. I referenced earlier, we often hear, I'm not ready yet. A lot of people are saying that. What is your professional advice after working in the industry for as long as you have, when somebody says, this is really great, I see what you've got here, but I'm just not ready?
Yeah. How many of you are ready right now?
Sean is ready.
I'll talk to you
The
later.
youngest person in the room is ready. I love it.
Readiness.
Maybe, I don't know. Alex, are you, yeah.
I'm ready. I'll tell you that. I'm ready. And it's interesting to know, when you're touring communities, if you're bringing your adult children, they're ready. But when it really comes time to make the decision, they probably won't be as ready as they think they are. It's a big decision. And so when I hear I'm not ready yet, I wonder why. What is it about your specific situation that makes you wait? The beautiful part about my job is when I move someone in, when I help them through that process, 6 to 8 weeks go by and the stress just starts to melt. And so it's kind of a conundrum. You don't want to move until you know how happy you're going to be, but you don't know how happy you're going to be until you move. And so how do you figure that timeline out? The more conversations you have with the experienced sales counselors in this industry, the easier it becomes. And so there's a window of time. I think it was Alex that was mentioning the financial and the medical application process. You can be told you're not ready yet financially because maybe you'll spin down too quickly, right? But then you can also be told you've waited too long because now you don't medically qualify for an independent living life care contract. So there's a golden window of time where it makes the best sense to make that decision, but it's really, you're in the driver's seat. So just keep those conversations going, keep them active, keep it fluid, so that when the timing's right, you know the community you want to go to, you know the floor plan you like, you've known the residents, you know the meals, you know happy hour when that is, you know all those things, the move is that much easier.
Awesome, thank you. We've heard a lot about activities at different communities. What about Bunko at Village on the Green?
Bunko. So Bunko was not as popular as it is right now until we brought wine. So we brought in wine, and now there's 40, 50, 60 players every Saturday. Bunko is very popular, understandably so. But there are other elements of Village on the Green specifically. We have a travel club. We always have residents on cruises. So while Village on the Green feels like a docked cruise ship in some capacity, they're always going out. And the beautiful thing is you can just lock your door, leave, we take you to the airport, we take you wherever you need to go, and you're not worried about that house. You're not worried about your apartment. We're managing all of that. We have educational classes, we have social groups, we have book clubs, we have an Elvis impersonator that lives there, and she's really fun. So we have parties
Wait,
all the
she?
time. Yes, she.
Okay.
And you'd never know, she's great at it.
Drag king, not a drag queen. Okay.
So
I love it.
our disco night is very popular. We have one of my favorite events is our sports challenge that's coming up. Residents and team members alike. They have two groups, so we were very competitive at Village on the Green. And the sports challenge is beautiful because residents and team members get to know each other that much better. And we have a whole day of games, and we actually just did a training for it. You know, I hear a lot, going back a little bit to the readiness question, I hear that I'm not ready because I'm still active. That's good. You should be active, and you should move while you're still active. Really enjoy the community while you're there before you have your needs start to change. So those activities are I love the sports challenge. Anybody that wants to come and join us, you just let me know.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
Well, how was your speed dating experience? Was it pretty good? Did you learn anything? Yes. Awesome. I did too. I want to see the Elvis impersonator, I think. Yeah, that was really good. I appreciate our educational partner communities and one of the things that I noticed when I first started interviewing the different communities and getting to know them is they all work so well together. They want you to visit each other and go to these different communities and get to know them because they want you to be happy whatever your decision is. So you can trust that they're going to give you good information, they're going to answer your questions honestly and give you good feedback and help you along in the process. Did we try and sell you anything through all of this? Nope, not at all. No, just providing some information. But the question is, what are you going to do with the information? A lot of you have been thinking for a long time. Maybe this helped you along that continuum a little bit. We hope so. Maybe it gave you some other questions that you need to find out answers to. I want you to remember that we've got 3 more tours on our spring Hop? I couldn't think of the name. We try to call it something different every time we do this. So Mayflower is this Friday. If you have not signed up and you're curious, you want to see the pizza oven, or what the Mayflower has to offer you, just indicate that on your blue form. We also have Watercrest Winter Park. Encourage you to come to that one. I think the communities that we partner with have something for everyone. And then our third community that we will be visiting is Village on the Green. Whether or not we see where the pickleball courts are going, I don't know, but we will see lots of things that I think you'll find helpful on those trips. So please be sure to note that on your blue form. You are our connection to the world, and I encourage you to jump along with us in our goal and bring someone that has never been to one of our seminars. Next month, We are gonna start a new series, and our April seminar is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We're gonna talk about travel. And travel, as a senior might look different than those vacations our educational partners took as a child when mom was camping and cooking for 10 days on the beach. I can't imagine, cannot imagine. Oh, you did?
No, Daddy did.
Oh, okay, good for her, good for her. We're gonna talk about a variety of things, obviously, traveling solo. Some of you may be traveling solo for the first time. Or planning a trip or wanting to plan a trip that maybe you think is daunting. And so we're gonna talk about ways to make that easy. So I hope that you will join us next week. You can mark that, go ahead and just mark it down that you're coming. We wanna see you on April 23rd. And then we always like to leave you with a quote. I love Henry David Thoreau. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life you have imagined. I think that's a very big challenge to each one of you. I thank you for coming and enduring your speed dating process. I hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing each and every one of you next month. Have a great month.